Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi guys, my name is Rizka Mulia and now on this occasion I want to tell you about a film that I just watched it. And for information, I'm a lover of movies and dramas, especially K-movies or K-dramas. Sometimes I can't spend time just watching movies or K-dramas. Okay, for K-dramas I can watch it for 5 episodes, especially when I'm married. I use the time to try to watch K-dramas and movies. And maybe you could say my hobby is watching because it also includes a little bit of my happiness from the hustle and bustle of life. Okay, now I will tell you about the movie I watched it recently and check it out. Okay, now I want to tell you about a movie called My Annoying Brother. This film is played by one of the members of EXO and he's my idol, namely Do Kyung-soo aka Do, where he plays the character Do Young as a person with a disability. And next is Jo Jung-suk, who is my favorite actor too. He plays the character of Do-sik or Do Young's older brother. Okay, first of all, this film is very inspiring and different from older similar films. The storyline is also not monotonous. So this film is about brothers who always fight and never get along. In addition, they also have very different traits and characters. Do Young has a very innocent, kind, quiet, and accomplished character, while Do-sik has a character that is inversely proportional to Do Young. He has that character very different, rude, selfish, indifferent, manipulative, and have a very high temper or emotion. Okay, one day, Do-sik is imprisoned for a venture capital fraud case, which requires him to be imprisoned for 15 years. On the other hand, Do Young has an accident that results in malfunctioning of his eye, nervous, or permanent blindness. Hearing the news of his sick brother, Do-sik tries to negotiate with the police over his parole, arguing that he wants to take care of his sick brother. Of course, that's just Do-sik's alibi, since he doesn't really care about his brother. He wants to be released from prison because to fulfill Do-sik's wish, which is to have fun. Okay. Long story short, negotiations are successful. Do-sik is released on parole for 1 year, provided the police will monitor Do Young's progress. After being released, Do-sik immediately comes to the house and scolds Do Young for his house being so messy. Do-sik also berates Do Young for being useless, and Do Young is furious and upset when he hears and find out that his brother is already home. Do Young doesn't care and continues to sleep. And next, at night, Do-sik buy food, while Do Young goes out of the room to eat ramen. Then, long story short, Do-sik arrives home and catches Do Young eating raw ramen. Do-sik is furious that Do Young messed up the kitchen. They disagree and get emotional with each other. Okay, the next day, they are still indifferent to each other, and Do-sik berates each other Do Young. Long story short, Do-sik goes to the bank to save and withdraw money from his hard-earned participation in various Olympics. After Do-sik managed to open an account, Do-sik goes straight to the car showroom to buy a car. On the other hand, Do Young's judo coach, Soo-hyun or Park Shin-hye, comes to the home. So this Soo-hyun did come over to the house to see how Do Young is doing. Soo-hyun also persuaded Do Young to join the Paralympics, but Do Young balked, feeling that he couldn't participate in the Paralympics. Okay. After that, Do-sik comes home and meets Soo-hyun. At first, they say hello, but after a while, they cannot see either. So Soo-hyun is furious at Do-sik's behavior not reflecting an older brother, but Do-sik was done with Soo-hyun's words. Okay, then, long story short, Do-sik goes to the hospital to get the results of the CT scan he did while in prison. The results reveal that Do-sik has terminal pancreatic cancer, which means his one life much longer. Doctors estimate that Dusik is only about 1 or 3 months old. Dusik, who hears the news, is furious with the doctor, saying that the doctor lied. He also drives his new car at breakneck speed. This is where Dusik begins to bond with Do-young and be nice to Do-young. He realizes that he is Do-young's only hope as a family. When Dusik knows that Do-young will live alone. Okay. The next day, Dusik is very nice to Do-young. He prepares breakfast for Do-young, takes Do-young to the club, takes Do-young to the mall to buy new clothes, and spends time with Do-young. Meanwhile, Do-young is still cool to Dusik, but over time, Do-young has melted with Dusik. Okay, after that, Dusik tries to meet Do-young's judo coach, Soo-hyun. Dusik asks Soo-hyun about the Paralympics. Soo-hyun told him. Dusik assures Soo-hyun that if Do-young wins, the Judo Foundation will take care of Do-young and guarantee Do-young's life. Soo-hyun is confused by the behavior of Dusik, who now cares a lot about Do-young. Later, Dusik also explains to Soo-hyun about his illness, and Soo-hyun, who hears this, is very surprised and feels sorry for Dusik and Do-young. Soo-hyun also assures Dusik that Do-young will be fine when he wants to join the Paralympic club. Dusik is also a little relieved, and he tries to persuade Do-young. And long story short, Dusik persuades Do-young to join the Paralympics. And Do-young, who hears this, is suddenly very angry, and Dusik explains to Do-young that the dream that you aspire to you must achieve no matter what situation. Dusik also assures Do-young that he can definitely make it to the Paralympics, and advises Do-young that he must succeed and not be like his brother. Okay, Do-young slowly accepts the Paralympic over, and he trains with Dusik. After that, the next day, Do-young is taken by Soo-hyun to a judo training center for people with disabilities. And when Do-young leaves, Dusik renovates his house and makes his house very comfortable and safe for Do-young as a person with disabilities to live in. On top of that, Dusik also sells his car, and the money is deposited into Do-young's account, and Dusik tries to complete his responsibilities as an older brother. After Do-young returned home, Do-young was very happy because he was able to practice judo and face the National Paralympics, where he will continue the International Paralympic held in Brazil. Okay, Do-young is very happy because he feels his home is different and much more comfortable, and Dusik is happy to see Do-young so happy. Long story short, the day came when Do-young had to take part in the Paralympics in Brazil. Dusik gave Soo-hyun the trust to take care of Do-young. Dusik is very sad and cries when Do-young goes to Brazil. He falls, and his condition is unstable. His neck bursts. Who see Dusik is pain immediately take him to the hospital. Dusik calls Do-young and asks how he is. And the next day was Do-young day following the international level Paralympics. Before starting the Paralympics, Do-young was very pessimistic and unsure. Soo-hyun also tried to encourage Do-young and give advice till Soo-hyun revealed about Dusik's illness. Do-young, who hears this, is so disappointed, sad, angry, disorganized, and he runs and decides to go to Korea. But Soo-hyun stops him and advises Do-young that Do-young must be able to survive for his brother, because if Do-young loses his brother, he will be disappointed and very sad. Hearing Soo-hyun's statement that Do-young wants to join the Paralympics, he calls Dusik and asks how he's doing. And long story short, the match begins. Dusik sees Do-young from the hospital via live streaming, and in the end, Do-young won the Paralympics. Dusik was very happy, proud and moved, especially when Do-young shouted his name. The next day, Do-young returns to Korea with Dusik's condition missing. Do-young tries to forget him and listen Dusik's voice through MP3. He's very grateful to have a brother like Dusik. And finish. Okay, overall this film is very inspiring, right? That we should be grateful to have people around us, such as relatives or family, friends, partners, boyfriend or girlfriend, and so on. Because in the end, we never know when they will leave us. Oh my god! Remembering that film, I'm very sad. This film is highly recommended for you because besides inspiring, this film it is also not boring. So it's perfect for you to watch. I guarantee you will cry while watching it because I also cried while watching it. And that's a piece of the story from a film that I watched recently. Hopefully it can be an inspiration for you to watch it, and hopefully at another time I can tell you another exciting film. Goodbye, see you, and have a nice day. Assalamualaikum. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.